Let's jump right in then. Jon Pardi, Heartache Medication, the deluxe edition's out. You get a couple extra tracks on it. It's fantastic. And of course, we're about to celebrate. I don't want to jinx it or anything. We're about to celebrate another number one with Ain't Always the Cowboy, man.
I mean, fingers crossed. It's a tough year for fast songs. Let's put it that way.
So you're a songwriter, obviously, and Ain't Always the Cowboy is one of the songs on the album that you actually did not write. Josh Thompson and the guys were a part of it. And I have to imagine it's got to be a harder checklist for you to put a song on your album, something that you're representing, and then release it as a single too, if it's not something that you personally wrote. So can you tell me why specifically this song meant so much to you that you put it on the album and released it as well?
It means a lot to me because it's a great song. And I think when you can put a great song on the radio, that's the goal, right? Something that's different, something that, especially I think for females, really kind of hit home because it's that tough cowboy, but she's leaving, she's moving on. And so I think that's really the coolest part about that, and just great song. We really kind of souped it up, and it's kind of a meaningful thing. So I think when songs are great and they can make somebody happy or make somebody relate to it, I think that's the goal.
Well, I got to give credit to you because you're one of my favorite artists. You're incredibly talented. You have the ability to do a song like, You Ought to Know, or going back to the first album with When I've Been Drinking, which is one of my all-time favorites. It's such a fun song. And then you go into something like Ain't Always the Cowboy. And I got to bring up the song that you wrote for Summer, Look at You, which I hope we get to hear sometime soon. I imagine that's a feel good. That's a love song. And so how do you bring into songwriting and performing and putting together these albums, both of those types of your personality? And then on stage too, your performance is the same way, man. You're having fun, you're goofing off, and then you bring it in with something like Ain't Always the Cowboy.
Well, I think I just really look up to people who make people laugh. And I feel like I always like making people laugh. I like being a goofball. I like making people happy. And it's fun to bring in that laughing, crying, raging party time, just have a great time kind of a deal in a show or in a song, because it's a roller coaster of emotions. And I feel like that's why we, love so many great movies that are happy, they're sad, they're, they all give you the feeling. And I guess for me as an artist, is hitting all the feelings of emotions and sinking memory, and what you all have those songs you remember when you first heard it, you remember a weird memory, why do you remember this memory when you hear a song? I don't know, but there's something about all that is fun to just put it all on the table.
Very well said. You are a newlywed, just a couple of weeks. Congratulations to both you and to Summer. Obviously, you had to put the wedding off a bunch of times. You finally get married. You can't really do a honeymoon because of everything that's going on. So I wonder, did you guys find some sort of special way to celebrate while being at home, sort of that honeymoon week or a couple days, weekend, whatever it is? And if so, what did you guys get into that was fun?
Well, the wedding was a blast. We had a fun time, and we ended up just hanging at the house, and we did like a little bachelorette party together, and the girls got all together. We got together a little Top Golf, and we stayed at a great hotel in Nashville, the Thompson. We had like the penthouse suite, and that was fun just to kind of get away from the farm and live the Nashville life, because we only live 20 minutes from town.
Right.
But it's still nice to just bunker into Nashville and have a good time. There's so many cool things to do in Nashville, and such a struggle to watch all of us go through what we're going through, and especially a town like Nashville just get hit so hard, because we all want to go out and go honky tonk, go down the bars, or go stay at all these $1 million hotels here in Nashville and eat all these great restaurants here in Nashville now. And so we got to do a little bit of that for our, getting married. So I think that was the safest and coolest thing we could do.
For sure. Let's talk about Party Time. It's an addicting show to watch with CMT. You are obviously hilarious. You guys have a good time. In one of the more recent episodes, you're going camping with one of your buddies, and it's pouring down rain. And I mean, not just rain, it's like pouring down rain. I got to ask, as I'm watching it, I'm wondering how much of this is cut for TV and how much of this is just legit. You guys decided to stay out there and do your little jalapeno poppers with the bacon wrapped around them in the pouring down rain.
Oh, none of this is planned for TV. It's like, I call it a super reality show because I'm filming it and I'm the one coming up with everything. It's like we have a producer, but it's not like there's no script writing, there's no nemesis, And that was the date we were gonna go camping. I was like, no, I was like, everybody, it's gonna be boring if we go. I was kind of talking myself up, like, let's try camping in the rain. Somebody's got to do it. I mean, and it sucked, but it made for a good time, and we had the tarps, and it was fun, and it worked out the way I thought it would. It just wasn't fun going through, but we survived.
Has there been a moment filming Party Time that when you were done filming it, you were like, I can't believe we just did that? Like something specific that happened? Maybe it wasn't planned. Maybe it was something you thought was going to go a certain way and it didn't. But afterwards, you're like, damn.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that we think it's going to look cool and it doesn't go great, but it ends up being hilarious because the editor of the show is fantastic. And we're currently starting to film the Party Time Christmas special, which I'm really excited about. And so we'll see what happens with that. But you just never know how it's going to turn out. But it's definitely been another thing, something fun to do. Keep the fans, give them some inside. A lot of people like comment just like, thank you for just entertaining me through this hard time. And like when I go back to the emotions of just keep people laughing and having a fun time, and there's something about that. And I think Party Time is a great release for just to see funny random stuff.
It's a great time. If you haven't watched it, definitely check it out. Party Time. You always almost alwast rock a belt buckle, and they're usually pretty epic belt buckles. And it's not something that everybody can pull off. Like I can't do it. So I wonder, from somebody who wears them, what kind of attributes do you think someone needs to have if they're listening right now and they're like, I'm going to try a belt buckle? What do you have to be able to pull that off?
Well, you got to tuck your shirt in. You got to be able to look good with your shirt tucked in, and just pick your buckle and rock it. You got to rock it. Like you got to rock it with swagger. My favorite is one of my tour managers. He's not my tour manager anymore. He's with Justin Moore. He's Justin Moore's tour manager. His name's JR, and he's awesome. And he was like he always had a belt buckle. He had like kind of a beer gut. He had blonde hair, and I think he like an eagle, and it was just like a little belt buckle. Boy, he tuck his shirt in and he comb his hair. He'd be smoking his cigarette, and he was just ready. And everybody loved JR, and that's the kind of you got to just get out there and own it.
It's a confidence thing. Then you just got to say, you know what, I'm going to do this. This is me now. I'm a belt buckle guy.
My buckle's awesome. They're going to be like, this guy looks sharp.
I love it, man. I want to talk about one of the other songs on the album, Heartache Medication, Don't Blame It on Whiskey, which Eric Church, Miranda Lambert were a part of the writing process on that. And of course, you sing it with Lauren Elena. Can you tell me about how this song came to be? And I know there was talk of Miranda singing on it with you. Obviously, Lauren's a part of that. Just can you explain all that to me? It's a great song, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, Eric and Miranda wrote a great song. I heard that in like 2013. And I was like, man, I heard Eric singing it. And Miranda was singing harmonies. I was like, that's such a cool song, We never really touched it just because at the time, we were just starting out. And who, when you're starting out, it's like, oh, let's record this slow song, So when it came back around last year that we could record it, and Eric was, Eric and Miranda loved the idea of me singing it. And it was just a song I remembered, and I love the message of it. I love the realization of like, it's time, it's time to call it. It's time to move on. And, this heartbreak train, I forget the lyric, but standing on the tracks. And it was such a good line. And it was just a great song. And Miranda had a lot of duets out that year, and it was just like, and then Lauren ended up singing on every damn song. At the time, I was like, Lauren's a great friend, and she's a great singer, and we sing good together. And I said, I want Lauren on it. I think she'd be fantastic. And it, you know, everybody asked me, Miranda probably turned so many songs down. It's like, no, I don't want to sing that song. So I was like, let's bring in a new chick. So Lauren did a great job, and I think it came out real pretty. And the way I just want to really deliver the emotion of it. So I think we did a fantastic job. And Eric's been nothing but compliments on the record, and it's been fun.
It's a great tune. The whole record's really good. I dig that one. Obviously, Ain't Always a Cowboy. Taiwan On is so much fun. It's like one of those just feel good, fun country songs. It kind of reminds me of like something Brad Paisley would do back in the day. You know what I mean? Like just a fun, carefree kind of tune. It's really a phenomenal album, man. I've got 2 questions. You do the Dear John thing, obviously, on Pardi Time. And I'm going to call it Pardi Prescription because I don't have enough money to be sued. But these really are questions from listeners of Rockin Saturday Night. The first one is from @CaseyMichelle. My boyfriend does nothing but play Call of Duty all friggin' day long. How do I get this man to put down the controller and hang out with me?
Oh, the Call of Duty curse. I don't know. I mean, maybe get like a camo lingerie or something. Call of Duty themed, lingerie or something. And he might be like, oh, okay, Call of Duty. Yeah, maybe that, or just take that damn game console, throw it out the window, and say, hey, when we can get a PS5, that's the only reason I threw out the PS4 because PS5, babe. So just take a break, and I'll get you a PS5 when I can get it.
Perfect answer. I love it. Last one @Kaylee Doe 357. My husband doesn't like country music. In fact, it's to the point where he changes all of my presets. How do I get back at him?
Oh, play intense jazz music.
Like Kenny G at full volume, or
I forget what it's called, but there's some crazy jazz and it's really fast. Like it's just noodling on the guitars, and
okay.
It's I like jazz, but this stuff's like really kind of intense. It's really like jazz musicians love playing jazz, and you have to love jazz to really get down on, but they like get intense jazz and just somehow just always start with that, and like maybe say that's your new, I love this, babe, this is my new stuff, I'm just gonna listen to this all the time. Like, I know you don't like country music, what about this intense jazz? This is my favorite. I can't wait to go see it in person. Don't you
a live intense jazz show? Then he has no choice but to go be like, all right, fine, listen to your country music, right?
He might be like, you know what, I kind of like that country music.
I dig it. John, always a good time, man. We're going to play Ain't Always the Cowboy, and I know we're going to be celebrating #1 with you yet again very soon, man. Thanks again for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, man.
Later.